What is going on, everybody? It's the Frauds, and we're here for a Monday Night Raw review for February the 8th, 2020. We are on the way to the Elimination Chamber, which, by the way, is a week from Sunday, and this was the first show they actually did anything for the Elimination Chamber. I know last week was the day after the Rumble, and you want to give that some props and everyone talking about the Rumble, but you should have started building towards the Elimination Chamber. And I don't know if anyone else thought this, that we actually had something going into the Elimination Chamber after last week's Monday Night Raw. We were wrong, though. They advertised that Sheamus and Drew McIntyre were going to have a segment tonight discussing their match at the Elimination Chamber, or at least that's what we thought they were going to do. Turns out that was wrong. So we start the show off. Adam Pearce is in the ring. He brings out Shane McMahon, which Byron Saxton is just all in gush. He's like all so happy. He's like, "Oh my God, this is so awesome, Shane McMahon. We haven't seen him in so long. Who gives a shit?" It's Shane McMahon. But he comes out. He and Adam Pearce announced that Drew McIntyre will in fact defend the WWE Championship inside the Elimination Chamber, and he will defend the title against former WWE champions, all five. Randy Orton, Sheamus, Jeff Hardy, AJ Styles, and who was the other one? Let me see here. Jeff Hardy, Randy Orton, and Mr. Moneymaker himself, The Miz. Really? The Miz gets a title shot? I am so sick of seeing The Miz on TV. Get this guy. He needs to legitimately lose the Money in the Bank briefcase again and then go away for 7 months or to a year. He has been an embarrassment and just makes the product worse. Anyway, so that's the only reason they brought Shane out. So AJ comes out. Omos and Shane McMahon have a stare down because Omos was the bodyguard for Raw Underground for the entirety of that existence. Which I was like, oh God, please tell me we're not going to have Shane be like, well, starting next week, we're going to have Raw Underground again. Nope. That was a thing that should have just stayed as it was. Styles comes out and is like, Shane's right, you are really doing great. Great job. Shane, of course, AJ Styles is happy because he's getting a WWE Championship match again after losing to Drew McIntyre at TLC. And says, he pretty much says that I'm going to give you a taste of what is going to happen at the Elimination Chamber. Out comes Jeff Hardy, and we have Jeff Hardy versus AJ Styles. Now, AJ Styles versus Jeff Hardy was a pretty decent match. But before we get to that match, let's talk about the Elimination Chamber. I'm fine with it. It would not surprise me that this is where Randy Orton wins the WWE Championship. I know that everyone's saying that it's going to be it's going to be Edge versus Roman Reigns. But it's just a part of me that's still like, it's going to be Randy Orton and Edge. The plan, the tentative plan back when when Edge got injured and going into SummerSlam was that Randy Orton was going to beat Drew McIntyre, take the title into WrestleMania, and defend against Edge. Was Edge penciling the one to Rumble at that time? No. I always thought that it was going to be Edge was going to win the Elimination Chamber or some other way to get there, and we'd have somebody from SmackDown win the Royal Rumble to go to WrestleMania against Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan, Big E, somebody like that. But no. Of course, using his power, Edge selfishly won the Royal Rumble. Now, who's going to win the Elimination Chamber? It comes down to two men, Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre, plain and simple. Now, of course, Drew McIntyre and Sheamus were not happy about this because they both felt that they both thought that they had a one-on-one match at the Elimination Chamber. It was going to be them facing each other, and that's what it felt like they set up. So obviously, this was not in the cards last week. Vince McMahon did not come into Raw last week, or even this week probably when they were doing the final writing of what's going to happen. I guarantee you this was a last-minute decision because it felt so random. Shane McMahon comes out to help Adam Pearce announce he was going to be in the Elimination Chamber, even though Shane really didn't even do anything in the segment. It made no fucking sense to have him out there. So the Elimination Chamber is going to have 6 men. Sheamus, Drew, their rivalry starting up. Randy Orton, Drew have a rivalry there. So with Drew and AJ Styles, Jeff Hardy, The Miz, just are there. In my opinion. Jeff Hardy and The Miz are just there. So, Jeff Hardy, Miz are not going to win. Miz is the Money in the Bank briefcase holder. He's not losing. He's not winning the WWE Championship probably ever. He's probably going to end up losing the WWE Championship, the contract to whoever the fuck he challenges this time. But yeah, we had Jeff Hardy versus AJ. Now, in this match, Jeff Hardy goes for, I think he went for something. Where was it? He went for like a top. He went over, like, you know, the over under, like he was over, and AJ went under, and he tweaked his knee, supposedly. So he's selling his knee the entire match. At least he knows how to sell. Cody Rhodes should actually take some lessons in how to sell a fucking knee injury. I know, I'm still fucking pissed about that match. But yeah, he's selling the knee. AJ's not laying up on the knee. AJ will do anything he can to win this match. He gets him in the calf crusher once. Jeff barely gets to the ropes. Jeff actually gets the twist of fate. Takes his time because he's injured to get up on the top rope. Goes for the swanton, misses. Ends up in the calf crusher again, and he has no choice but to tap out. AJ Styles beats Jeff Hardy with the calf crusher. The match was not bad at all. Of course, it's Jeff Hardy playing defense because his knee's so messed up. Honestly, I think the guy's probably going to have to knee surgery in the next 5 years or so. So, Matt Riddle and Keith Lee will have a match to see, pretty much to see possibly who faces Bobby Lashley at the Elimination Chamber. We see how Bobby Lashley attained over Matt Riddle last week via DQ. Lee is backstage warming up. Riddle approaches him and asks him what's up. Riddle is sporting a black eye and admits that Lashley got the better of him last week. Riddle says laughter is the best medicine, so he got toasty at home last week, watched all the Air Bud movies, and how he's feeling like $1 million. I'm surprised WWE allows him to say get toasty because everyone knows that he's a fucking pothead. Lee wonders if Lashley knocks some screws loose and asks Riddle if he really wants to keep pursuing the United States Championship. Riddle just wants to win the title and insists he will win eventually. Lee says maybe it's time for someone new to try for the title, like me. He says he has what it takes to beat Lashley and to beat Riddle tonight. They have some friendly words, and Riddle says to let the better man win, and he walks off. Brings up all the Air Bud movies and the fact that Air Bud, which I've seen the first 2 Air Buds. I think I saw Air Bud for sure, Air Bud 2, whatever it was. But it's like, the first one was cute, it's funny, hey, a dog's playing basketball, blah, blah, blah. But they drug it on too fucking long. That series was done to death by Disney. Just like a bunch of other series they've done. So we go to the ring, and out comes the New Day. Kofi Kingston has officially been cleared. I don't know why he couldn't be cleared last week to be in the Royal Rumble, but that's neither here nor there. They do their pose, back from break, and we see Sheamus stop Adam Pearce in the back. He's not happy about getting a singles title match, and having to compete in the Elimination Chamber. Drew McIntyre said the same thing to Shane after the stuff out in the ring earlier, and he promises his rage to unleash brutality on every superstar in the chamber, and says Pearce will be responsible. He walks off, and we go back to the ring, and the New Day is wrapping up their entrance. Out comes Retribution, Slapjack, and T-Bar with Mustafa Ali and Mace. Miriam has said that she has contracted COVID-19, so that's why we haven't seen her in a while. Which, honestly, in my opinion, don't even have her come back as a member of Retribution. Her time with Retribution needs to end. I know Xavier Woods last week was wanting a match with her because he'd lost to the Retribution. He beat 2 members of Retribution. So, technically, she would be the deciding factor on how the Retribution versus Xavier Woods thing went. And I know we just saw Sasha Banks versus Reginald a couple weeks ago in a Cirque du Soleil match. WWE is not going to give you a legit, hard-hitting men intergender match. It's just not going to happen. But if Miriam and Xavier Woods can come up with a match mimicking something like what they did with Reginald and Sasha Banks, it can be done. So, Ali joins the announcers on commentary. Mace stands guard. Wood starts off. And this one, the New Day won. Just going to say this right here. New Day won. The Retribution did dominate for the majority of this match, but then something happened. They got way too confident. Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods fought back. Kofi dropkick Slapjack and knocks T-Bar off the apron. Kofi keeps unloading on Slapjack and hits the New Day boom. The boom drop. Kofi taunts on Ali now, then drops T-Bar off the apron with a Trouble in Paradise. Slapjack tries to take advantage with Kofi decks him with in comes Woods. Kofi tags back in and nails a double-team Daybreak finisher for the pin in the win while staring Ali down. After the match, Retribution storms the ring. The New Day head to the ramp celebrating as Woods is asking, give me Reckoning! Give me Reckoning! He wants Reckoning. He's like, where's Reckoning? I want Reckoning! Again, if Sasha Banks and Reginald could give you a Cirque du Soleil intergender match and get past WWE sponsorship problems, Mia Yim and Xavier Woods can figure something out too. I mean, they have that practice ring in the back. They could work a match back there until they figure out how to do one that's going to be able to be cleared by the FCC or the WWE sponsors. Bianca Belair is in the back in Royal Rumble win and how Japan is celebrated, which Belair will be here tonight. Go back to the ring and out comes Hall of Famer Ric Flair, who's down the ramp out until out comes Lacey Evans. They head to the ring together as we back to commercial break. Back from break and Tom congratulates. I'm not even going to talk about that because it's rigged and we all know it. Priest is backstage with rapper Bad Bunny laughing about what he did to John Morrison last week. Priest vs. Angel Garza will take place today with Bad Bunny at ringside. I'm telling you right now. After last Sunday and Monday, it's been talked about that Bad Bunny wants to wrestle. WWE wants him to wrestle. He's training to wrestle at Wrestlemania. I already see how it's going to go. Damian Priest's first match at Wrestlemania is going to be a tag team match with a celebrity as his tag team partner against The Miz and Morrison. Bad Bunny and Damian Priest versus Miz and Morrison. That's where we're going with this. It's obvious. It's honestly the best thing they could probably do if they want to do Bad Bunny. You're not going to have... WWE's never going to do a one-on-one singles match with a celebrity. That's just not their style. Bad Bunny, and it's just... Damian Priest is winning matches, I guess, if you want to go that route. We'll talk about his match with Angel Garza here in a bit. But I have my thoughts on Damian Priest and how this is not really working for him so far. Typical. WWE just ruins everything. So, we have those two. We have them two back in the ring. Lacey Evans and Ric Flair. Ric Flair says people out there are asking why he wants to be back in the mix. Flair says he takes orders from no woman, including his daughter. He goes on ranting about Charlotte and says he's met someone who has all the physical qualification and drive to be a star. All she needs is some motivation, knowledge, and wisdom. Flair says Charlotte may be the greatest female wrestler in the WWE today. Wrong. But he's still going to train Evans, and they are in charge. Flair says the relationship is just casual, but she comes under his charm. It's expected. Flair serves notice to Raw Women's Champion, Asuka, and says Evans will be the next champion. Evans says people who think they know what is going on have no idea. She does think Ric Flair is cute, but she has nothing but respect for him and treats him like the living legend he is, unlike his daughter. Evans continues the rant until out comes Charlotte. Charlotte poses on the ramp, which does mean you have, I know you're having this match with Lacey Evans here in a minute, but you're having this problem with your father and Lacey Evans. You have time to sit there and pose. You should be walking to the ring, pissed off, with this pissed off demeanor, just marching to the ring, fuck the pyro, fuck the pose, and just getting there, all business. I mean, come on. Just shows you how she's not a one person. She's our robot. She has to follow the orders of her programming. Rick looks to open the ropes for his daughter, but Evans stops him. Charlotte enters the ring and says Evans really wanted to learn. She'd take her ass to Orlando and train at the WWE Performance Center. But she just wants to leech off Charlotte and use her dad. Evans goes to speak, but Charlotte tells her to shut up. Charlotte has always said she and her dad always says she wants her dad's help, but she's been trying to add to her legacy for years. She doesn't care who Rick's manages as long as he doesn't bring her down with him. Evans isn't trying to take her place, she says. She just wants to listen and learn from Ric Flair. Why can't we work together? Why do we have to be enemies? Evans insults Asuka and says they should team up instead. Charlotte has been trying to prove to everyone she can do this on her own. Oh, really, Charlotte? You've been trying to prove to everyone you can do this on your own. That's why your theme music is a remix of your dad's. That's why you have a robe that looks just like your father's. That's why you strut. That's why you woo. That's why you use the figure 4 and turn it into a figure 8. Yeah, you're trying to do everything on your own, or prove that you can do this on your own, but you've copied every single fucking thing your dad has done. So don't sit there and tell me you've been trying to do this on your own when you try and do everything your dad has done, but change it up a little bit. That doesn't work that way. If you wanted to do everything on your own, you wouldn't even have Charlotte Flair. You would have stayed as Charlotte like you were in NXT. She was Charlotte in NXT. She wasn't Charlotte Flair. She was just Charlotte, trying to be her own person. Then she came to the main roster, put the Flair name on. They put the Flair name on her, and then they gave her a robe, gave her Ric Flair's. Well, she always had the Ric Flair remix music for a long time, and just had her be more like her father. Just like Dominic is going to run into the same problem, is that he's trying to do too much like his father, even though he's trying to be his own man. It's really hard to do because you have a name to live up to, a legacy to live up to. But if you really, really want to do your own thing, you need to go out there and be your own person. Don't try and imitate your family member. Do your own moves. Come up with your own counters, your own finishers and everything. It's just, you're trying to do this all on your own and say you can do it, but you're copying your father. She calls Evans Charlotte 2.0. Evans gets close to Rick and says her eyes are on the Raw Women's title. Evans reveals that Rick was told by WWE officials that Evans will earn the title shot if she can beat Charlotte. Charlotte wants to fight now, but Rick doesn't want them to. Evans sends Charlotte out of the ring and with a cheap shot sends her into the steel steps. Evans stands over Charlotte and says she accepts. And we go to commercial break. Back for break, The Miz, Morrison, and Angel Garza are in the back telling him not to worry about anything. And then we get into the match, Lacey Evans versus Charlotte. Do you think I really gave a fuck about this match? No. Was it boring as hell? Yes, I couldn't. I tried so hard to not fall asleep. It was really hard to do. My fucking eyes were like, this match was so boring. So boring. These two just do not work well together. Ric Flair, the only thing that he can really do to help Lacey Evans is with her promo skills. Other than that, she's not doing anything different. My goodness, this match sucked. Absolutely. Of course, Ric Flair's out there. Charlotte Flair gets in his face. She warns him that he wants to bring her down to his level. She'll show him how, like, if you want to embarrass me, then I'm going to show you. Goes over to Lacey Evans in the corner, just starts hitting her with the elbows. Ref starts counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Charlotte doesn't relent. She pushes the referee. Continues on. Ref rings the bell. Lacey Evans wins by DQ. So she does it. She beats her up even more, and eventually Ric Flair is able to get Charlotte to back off. She makes her exit while Rick helps Evans up from the mat. Still to come, Edge will be here. Back to break, and back from break we see Black History Month video with Sasha Banks. Blah blah blah. Which, I'm not trying to be political or anything, but why does Black History only have to be celebrated one month a year? It should be celebrated every year, every day. Every part of history should be celebrated every single day. Shouldn't just be once a month. One month a year. That's just me. Anyway, we get back to ring, and out comes Edge. Ed talks about last week was a long but amazing week. Yeah, amazing week of you being a selfish prick. That's what I'm going to say. Edge is selfish, and that's all there is to it. He still has to decide which champion to challenge for at WrestleMania. Edge goes on about the Elimination Chamber for the WWE title, and that he knows that Drew's going to be, Roman's going to be the Universal Champion until next week, until this weekend. Finn Balor is the NXT Championship. That could change on Sunday. But he doesn't know or think that Drew McIntyre can win in the Elimination Chamber, his odds are not on his side. So, just like he did 10 years ago, he's going to wait until, or 11 years ago now, 11 years ago, he's going to wait until the Elimination Chamber is over to announce his pick, plain and simple. That's pretty much what we're saying, but before he can even finish, out comes the embarrassment of WWE, Miz and Morrison, flanked by Angel Garza. So, they have a talk. Edge buries the Miz, which I'm fine with because I can't stand the fucking Miz. Miz is just a shell of his former self. The best time of Miz's career was 2016. The fall into winter of 2016. After that, he just has been awful. So, there's that. Angel Garza versus Damian Priest. Damian Priest got a lot. I do like one thing. One of the things that happens with WWE talent when they come up from NXT is that we've always seen, entrances are something that we see in NXT. Aleister Black had a badass entrance. What did they do? Until they got rid of the coffin thing in his music, they added a creaking sound, which made it worse. Ricochet, they added, ricocheting sounds. Damian Priest and Keith Lee, they changed his music completely and multiple times, and his entrance doesn't feel the same. Damian Priest in NXT has this entrance where he shoots an invisible arrow into the Titantron. It says it comes up and fires Damian Priest. He goes to the ring, stops there, and then does his his whatever that thing is, his rocking out type thing, and then shoots up into the sky. He got to do that tonight, so at least for now, Damian Priest has kept his entire badass entrance from NXT. Now, the only problem I have with it is that they didn't cut out enough lights, and you could see they didn't do it right, because you're supposed to cut out all the lights and keep a spotlight on him while he does his thing, and then he shoots up. But other than that, he did get to keep his entrance, which is a positive out of this. Now, of course, Miz and John Morrison were there. They got involved. They started beating up on Damian Priest while Angel Garza was distracting the referee. Bad Bunny grabs the Money in the Bank briefcase. Morrison goes after him. Bad Bunny throws the briefcase into the ring. Morrison goes to get the briefcase. The referee sees Morrison. It's like, whoa, what the fuck is going on here? No. You, and get the fuck out of here. So Bad Bunny got them to leave. That caused Angel Garza to be distracted. You got Angel Garza getting hit with the Reckoning. 1, 2, 3. Damian Priest wins. My problem with Damian Priest right now is that hasn't won a single match. He's only had 2, but he hasn't won either one of these matches clean. I don't care what you say. Winning by distraction with a bell clap into a Reckoning is not a clean victory. Last week, Bad Bunny distracting the Miz eating the Reckoning is not a clean victory. Like I said, I know what this feels like this is going, is that Bad Bunny is going to face off with Damian Priest as his tag team partner versus the Miz and Morrison at WrestleMania. So, Priest winning. Hopefully he continues to win going into WrestleMania. Kayla Braxton is backstage with Drew McIntyre asking about his match at the Elimination Chamber. He knows WrestleMania season will you have to expect the unexpected. Drew addresses Sheamus and Randy Orton how everything is crazy right now. He gets crazy when he's backed into a corner. And rip your face off, it is time for the title. He will face Randy Orton in the main event. Matt Riddle versus Keith Lee. This was great. The other portion of this match, Matt Riddle's trying to take Keith Lee down. Keith Lee is just powering out of everything he's trying to do. He actually tried to go into a armbar immediately, and Keith Lee just pulls in Matt Riddle. They're fighting to it up, and eventually he throws him down. And these guys just beat the fucking hell out of each other. Keith Lee, Matt Riddle got a lot of fucking big shots in on Keith Lee. Keith Lee was in the corner, he was on one knee. He was on one knee in the corner, and Matt Riddle comes at him trying to, do something. And Keith Lee pops up and boom rushes this guy, knocking him on his ass. Holy shit, that fucking had to hurt. The pounce from Keith Lee, just wow. But these two, again, beat the hell out of each other. We got a sleeper attempt by Riddle. It didn't happen. Now, Keith Lee tried a couple times with the Spirit Bomb. Couldn't get it done early on. We got a floating bro 2 count. Riddle hits 3 brotons. Lee catches the final flash and goes for a Spirit Bomb, but Riddle turns it into another armbar. Lee breaks it up by force, but throws him into the turnbuckle. Riddle turns, hits a final flash. Lee still continues right back into a Spirit Bomb for the pin and the win. So, these two best friends, I guarantee you it was a much better match when they faced off in the indies. After the match, Lee stands tall as his music hits. MVP stands out and applauds Lee. Lee helps Riddle up, but Bobby Lashley attacks him from behind. Takes out Keith Lee with the huge fucking power slam. He lifted Keith Lee up like it was nothing and slammed him down. Bobby Lashley earned the nickname Almighty tonight. Holy shit, did he make Keith Lee feel like it was nothing. So, he beats him down, then gets Matt Riddle into the Hurt Lock again, throws him down, goes out and beats up on Keith Lee again, and stands tall. Now, at the Elimination Chamber, it will be Keith Lee versus Matt Riddle versus Bobby Lashley for the United States Championship. I want Keith Lee to win. I really do. If Keith Lee doesn't win at the Elimination Chamber, then he's got to win the United States title at WrestleMania. Could you imagine in front of actual fans for the first time in over a year, Keith Lee winning the WWE United States Championship? It's not going to be a packed house, unfortunately. They're going to have like 25,000 fans per night. Maybe it'd be 30,000 by then. Who knows? Hell, by that time, it could be 35,000. Who knows? We don't have a number set just yet. But Keith Lee in front of 25,000 to, I'm going to say between 25,000 and 35,000 fans on one of the nights, winning the United States Championship. Even Matt Riddle, either one will be a huge moment for either one of them. Let's see here. Johnson's the hype video for Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre, which is what we've seen all the time. Tables match, Nia Jax versus Lana. This has been a match that a lot of people should have expected months ago. You had Lana put through a table 9 weeks in a row, and then for some reason it just stopped. Then she was taken out of her match at TLC, returned at the Royal Rumble, eliminated Nia Jax. So they have this match tonight, and basically Lana gets her ass kicked for 98% of this match. Then there's a table set up on the outside. Lana's looking to knock Nia Jax into it. Doesn't happen. Lana's prone on the apron. Nia Jax goes for a leg drop. Misses the leg drop. Is like, oh my God, this hurts, oh my God, like, oh my God. She's standing there, crying like a bitch. Lana comes up from behind with full steam, pushes her into a table that's sitting there, and Lana beats Nia Jax in the tables match. Holy shit. They made Nia Jax look like an absolute bitch. Holy fuck, that was bad. After the match, Shayna Baszler beats up on Naomi and attacks Naomi and Lana. Naomi stands tall off of that. And then we go into an impromptu match where it's Shayna Baszler versus Naomi. This match lasts about maybe 3 minutes. Shayna Baszler goes into a submission, gets to the ropes. 4 count for that. Before she gets out, she rolls out and attacks Lana at the ringside. This is where you have dumb babyface syndrome for a heel. Lana's on the outside. Shayna Baszler, who should be dealing with Naomi, goes out and beats her up, throws her into the barricade, comes back in, gets rolled up, 1, 2, 3, and Naomi beats Shayna Baszler. Wow. And those are your women's tag team champions, ladies and gentlemen. Holy shit. First you made Nia Jax look like the biggest fucking geek when she missed that leg drop, did she, like, break her ass bone or something? Her ass or something? Because she's just, like, screaming in, like, internal pain because she missed the leg drop. Other people have missed leg drops on the apron and didn't scream like a little bitch like Nia Jackson. This was terrible. So, we have ourselves the main event. Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre. Which was a decent match. Like, 2 minutes into the match, I swear, it was like 2 minutes. Sheamus comes running down, he distracts Drew McIntyre. So, Sheamus is out there, Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton go in there, having themselves a match. They're beating the hell out of each other. I thought, when's the Fiend going to show up? We got like 15 minutes left, we're going to have something else like we did last week. No, we did not. Orton and, like, Drew drops an RKO, kicks Orton and drops him with a Future Shock DDT for a pop. Drew sits up with his knees, stares down at Orton, waiting for him to get up. He dodges a bro kick as Sheamus rushes to him from behind instead, but now when it lays out Orton, instead, the referee calls for the bell, and Randy Orton wins by disqualification. Drew comes right back, drops Sheamus with a Claymore, stands tall, title belt in the air. Orton and Sheamus are still down, and Raw goes off the air. So that was Monday Night Raw. Was it a good show? No. Keith Lee versus Matt Riddle was good. Retribution versus The New Day was decent. The main event was Charlotte versus Lacey Evans was boring as fuck. Lana versus Nia Jax was terrible. Shayna versus Naomi made Shayna Baszler look like an idiot. Just so much bad booking in this show. It's not even funny. Bianca Belair was there too. She was talking about, like, she's not going to reveal her championships thing yet. Honestly, I don't expect either one of them to be announced until after the Elimination Chamber. Hell, Fastlane's going to be in March, so I wouldn't be surprised if one of them doesn't get named until after Fastlane or at Fastlane. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. But Monday Night Raw, another shit show, but, you know, WWE is just on autopilot. They've been on autopilot for the last few years. Hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like or dislike this video, find me on Twitter at The France Club, find me on twitch.tv/The France Club, fuck that Twitter, find me on Minds at The France Club, twitch.tv/The France Club, and Instagram at The France Club, and I'll see you guys Wednesday for AEW on TNT. Until then, my name is The France, and I'll see you guys later.